Guess who's back? Back again. Donald's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 So na 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 na. Donald Trump is back in America, baby, and the rest of the world is in for a treat. My condolences for all the people that are stuck in the greatest country to ever exist. Wow. Okay, so it all started when the slightly saner party of America decided to run a woman as their presidential candidate. And boy, oh boy, did they make a mistake. The Democrats really underestimated the sexism of the United States, especially when they're united. And the worst part? The idiots did it twice. They did it twice. Literally, the only thing you had to do to stop Trump from making America gross again was running a male candidate, and they failed to do that 2 times. If that senile old man can beat Trump, then so can anyone else, they must have thought. But the idiots failed to learn from their mistake. That's why Tony is better. So Donald is back. Oh, back he is. And it's... well, why don't you see for yourself? Things are happening that I didn't really think were possible. I don't feel so good about this, but that doesn't mean it ain't hilarious. Elon Musk, someone who has nothing to do with the government of the United States of America, somehow has access to the official US Treasury. Apparently, he has been given the status of an SGE, a special government employee. Ah yes, a billionaire who has the power of the government. How could that possibly go wrong? Keep in mind that this is the same guy who pays people to play video games for him, so that he can claim that he is good at video games, to win the approval of gamers. This guy has $400 billion and he still needs the approval of people who play video games. Now, I don't mean to be offensive or anything, but I don't think that this guy should have access to the US Treasury. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a peasant, a filthy commoner, as they say. But we all have to agree on one thing. His speech was awesome. I mean, just look at the way he said his heart goes out to us all.
My heart goes out to you.
Aw, so sweet of you, Elon. Wait, why is his face so stern? Getting back to Trump. Out of the many useless and ridiculous things Donald has done so far after returning to office, trying to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America stands out the most in my opinion. I think somebody needs to tell Trump that America is a continent. 2 continents, even. And Mexico is a part of North America, one of the 2 Americas. It's kind of like Pakistan is mad at India, so they decide to claim that the Indian Ocean will henceforth be called the Asian Ocean. Not gonna lie, that is pretty stupid. But I gotta give credit where it's due, guys. I'm glad Donald addressed the issue of renaming the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, since America is the greatest country to ever exist, why the should not everything be named after it? Also, it's not like there's anything more important than that, right? Not like the minimum wage is barely livable for the average person, or like the healthcare is too costly, or education is too costly, or rent for that matter. I'm sure that if any of those was an issue, then President Trump would have definitely addressed it, considering that he is the greatest president to ever walk the face of America. The moment he took office, he kept signing executive orders like they were autographs. But the catch is, he only signs actually important orders. He signed an order to leave WHO.
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization, sir.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
No, it's not. This is America, baby.
Oh, Donald, you are so silly. Ha 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 ha. Now that is the person whom I can call my president. What? Who cares if I'm not from America? Donald Trump is my president. Donald also seized all operations of USAID, the United States Agency for International Development, the only department of America that did anything for the rest of the world. Well, I suppose it is justified that it needed to be shut down, given the excessively selfless nature of America regarding other countries. I mean, just look at it. Everyone loves the US for how kind they are towards other countries, right? Everyone loves them too much. The selflessness and compassion needed to be brought down a notch. Donald also has finalized to shut down the Department of Education. He really is the greatest, isn't he? But wait, if you really think about it.
Who needs those pesky educated morons anyway? They just get in my way and don't let me play with my toys.
What is your toy, Donald?
Well, America, of course.
The Department of Education also managed most of the student loans of the country along with loan forgiveness programs. I think it's a great move by President Trump to kill all those student loan forgiveness programs. Once you take a loan, you gotta take the responsibility for it. You can't just go about expecting forgiveness. It's a loan, not Christianity. Who cares if the loan is for something which should be free in the first place? A loan is a loan and you need to pay for it, no matter what. Kudos to President Donald Trump for teaching all those struggling students financial responsibility. Also, the biggest expenses of the Department of Education were, drumroll please, the red state. You vote for stupid? Well, you get what you vote for. The Department of Education also oversaw how the state spent the money meant for education. Now that that's gone, I suppose it is free cocaine for the senators, baby! I decided to venture over to the dark side for a bit. And I can't say I came out unscathed. I did it, so you don't have to. Don't you think I deserve a little smash on the subscribe button for that? So without dabbling too much on the contents of the interview, let's get to the comments, shall we? Two great men standing up against such hatred. Thank you too for saving this country. Saving the country from what, Sherry? Sanity? Stability? Good relations? Development? Which one is it, Sherry? Answer me, Sherry! My depression was literally cured by Donald Trump winning. Your depression didn't get cured, bro. It got transferred to everyone in America who has more than a single brain cell. I really hope that this guy is someone like me who snuck into the dark side and left a sarcastic comment without anyone realizing it was sarcasm. Now this is a comment I can get on top of. On the bright side, the Prime Minister of India, Modi, held a press conference for the first time in his reign of 12 years, courtesy of silly Donald. And on a side note, XAEA-12 told Trump to shut the up in a more kid-friendly manner.
Prices from one year to the next are the same, and there is to restore democracy.
Look kid, I'm gonna be honest, your father is kind of a dip, but kudos to you for doing that. On the brighter side, Trump just tweeted, "He who saves his country does not violate any law." So I suppose Donald should be treated to a death sentence because all he is doing is running his country into the ground. Silly Donald also stated, Ukraine should have never started the war with Russia. He is so silly, isn't he? Why would he say that Ukraine started a war with Russia when it was obvious that Russia did it? Silly Donald must be making a joke. Ha 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 ha. I always loved his sense of humor. He was not making a joke. What? You see, it's almost like someone tries to assault you sexually, and you just happen to slice the person's genitalia off of them. And now, silly Donald is charging you with assault. He is so silly, isn't he? I love it. So while the rest of the world is living in 2025 and 2026 is soon to follow suit, I feel like the next year for America is gonna be 1986. We can hope it's not, but it sure seems like that the way things are going. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you stuck around for this long, chances are you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you did. It helps me with the motivation to keep making videos just like this one. If you have any suggestions or just want to express your feelings, please feel free to drop a comment. If you absolutely love the video, consider joining my Patreon. It would help a lot. Thank you. Bye bye.